Perfect. So, guys, today's session will be recorded. Our course will be kind of, you can say it will be consist of three section. Okay. So those three section will be like the first one is like introduction and detail about manual testing, guys. Okay. So we will discuss in detail about what is manual testing. It will take around 2 to 3 or 3 to 4 sessions. Okay. 3 to 5, I would say. Those sessions will be on purely manual testing, guys. Okay. Like whatever we have, the basic topics such as what is manual testing, what are the different models, V models, verification models, then agile methodology. Okay, so whatever basics is required, right, prior to kind of introductions of Selenium, we will have the manual testing session around 3 to 5 sessions, which we will cover like basics about equivalence partitioning, boundary value analysis, all those manual testing concept and all the different testing, whatever we have, what is integration, sanity, smoke, what is Big Bang, all those type of testing, correct? We will have a detailed discussion in the introduction part. So I'm considering that as around 3 to 5 session, guys. After that, we will jump on to introduction to Java. Okay. So this will be like Java plus advanced Java, correct? So this will take a little bit of around, I would say, minimum session, that is between 10 to 12. I'm considering it may take more than that, guys. Okay, that depends on the doubts, queries, questions, whatever you have. Okay, so we will talk about introduction to Java plus advanced Java. Okay, whatever is required from the QA automation side, we will touch base all the topics including collection framework, let's say Java stream, all the whatever we will have, right, along with real time, you can say, practice example for each of the topics. Okay, whatever ops concepts are there, obviously we will take the relevant example for each one of them and try to make sure that everybody has like clear understanding for all the topics for the Java part. The reason I will stress more on this is because if you have clear understanding on the coding part, or let's say the Java language part, you will not face difficulty in, let's say, when I kind of start with the Selenium actually. Okay. So in this, I can stress few more sessions also, that depends upon the queries, doubt, questions from your side, guys. Okay. But yes, introduction to Java plus advanced Java plus whatever is required from the Selenium point of view, guys, we will make sure that it is covered in the phase two, like part two of this. Okay. Once we are done with Java activity, like everything is good. Okay. Even after that, we will move to the third that is introduction to Selenium and real-time practice, guys. So we will obviously talk about introduction to Selenium, and over obviously this we will talk all about like real-time framework, whatever we have, right? It will be for both, that is API as well as UI, guys. Okay. And whatever is required from the framework point of view, we will discuss all this in detail. Okay. So over here, we will touch base all the topics, whatever we have in terms of Selenium latest version, that is 4 plus. And we will talk about real-time framework implementations, including all the, let's say, whatever we have currently in practice, such as BDD, Cucumber, whatever is required, we will talk about all those topics, guys. And also for the UI framework, we will touch base all the topics, whatever is, let's say, page object model, REST assured framework for APIs, like feature BDD Cucumbers, whatever is required for creating the Cucumber model. So we will touch base all those topics in our real-time framework activity. Okay. So coming to course contents, guys, I hope this link is available with everyone. If not, I'll share this in the chat window. Okay. Everyone can go through this link. Okay. So this link contains, I mean, just at high level, what are the course contents? Okay. So over here you can see like the course syllabus, guys. Okay, wherein we are kind of starting with what is software testing. Then I told you, right, we will cover manual testing. Then we spoke about what is the Java part which is required. So we will touch base all these topics. Then Java object-oriented programming concept, and then we will introduce to Selenium like language. Okay, Selenium with Java programming language. So this will be very crucial this thing, guys, module wherein it is covering all the sections with respect to mouse, iframes, checkbox, radio button, how we are handling, what are the locators, all those things. Then we will talk about API automation as well. Like we will touch base to one of the tool called as Postman, even Swagger, Postman, Bruno, whatever tools you are using, right? We will obviously talk about that tool. And then what are Pojo classes, how we do the serialization, deserialization. And then we will talk about one of the framework that is TestNG. We do have two frameworks, that is one is TestNG, second is JUnit. But depending upon the as you all aware, right, the popularity of TestNG is comparatively more than JUnit. So that's the reason we will kind of go with the TestNG as a, you can say, testing framework. After that, whatever third-party dependencies which are required from the Maven repository, guys, we will talk about that. Okay, then how we do the CI/CD integrations as well, or let's say what all changes you need to do for the Mavens in terms of how you add the dependency, all those things we will see. Whatever third-party dependencies is required into our project, how to have all those into at centralized location, and how to use those into our project. With respect to framework, guys, we will take mostly e-commerce domain project, okay, with respect to that. And we will try to implement, you can say, page object model along with, if that is done. So we will convert the same page object model framework, whatever we created, into kind of BDD style of writing that is using Cucumber, guys. Okay, so how to execute and what is log4j, how the logging happens, extend report, if there are other reports such as Allure report or JUnit report, we will discuss about those reporting as well. Coming to SCM, that is source code management, we will be using GitHub, okay, most of the time, and how we can integrate the GitHub repository URL integration with the Jenkins over the local host, and how we will run our you can say the whole test cases whatever we have created over locally over the Jenkins you can say dashboard, okay, and get the Jenkins report, Cucumber report at the end of the execution. So we will discuss about that as well. Okay, so I'll just interrupt here. Anybody has any doubts, queries on the course contents, course syllabus? Just to give you guys, all sessions will be recorded. Okay, these sessions will be recorded, and you will get the recorded link within like next, I would say 3 to 4 hours, I would say. And the session will be of 1 hour, okay, daily. And it will be, let's say we need some you can say Q&A kind of, we will have 15 minutes for that, okay, like if that depends upon how much questions, queries you have. If required, we can extend this, don't worry on that part. If anybody is facing real-time issues with the installation setup at the initial stage, you can kind of share your screen and show me the issues, something like that, okay. So every day the session will be recorded, it will be for 1 hour. You will get the link within next I would say 4 to 5 hours. And this will be only for weekdays, guys. Okay, it will be only for Monday to Friday. Okay, and that to morning, like it is 8 a.m. IST to 9 a.m. IST. And those who are good with, the reason I stated in the this thing is like why we are starting with manual testing. The reason is, as we are aware, right, the prerequisite to start with automation is you should be very good with your manual. Yes, correct, not everyone will be in the QA field, so that's the reason I'm kind of starting with the manual testing session. And then we will kind of whatever in obviously in the manual testing sessions also, guys, you guys might have some queries, doubt, questions, correct? So that's the reason we are putting around 4 to 5, 5 to 6 sessions on manual testing. Okay, and then we will jump on to Java and advanced Java topics. Okay, like we will talk about only one programming language, guys, that is Java. We will not touch base to other PL, other programming language. Please consider that. Okay. And we will do the framework and everything using only Java programming languages. Okay. So our complete this thing will be purely on Java, guys. We will not talk about any other PL, any other programming language. Please consider that. And I am expecting the total number of durations, or let's say that is 30 hours. Okay, it is already available on the this thing. Okay, over here we have already mentioned, but still if it is required, it can go plus like more 5 to 6 hours. That depends upon the queries, doubts, questions you guys are facing, any issues. Okay, so I am considering as the ideal time as 30 hour. It can kind of go little bit of more. That depends upon the queries, doubts, questions you guys are having. Okay, so yes, this is applicable for the one who does not have any knowledge on any of the programming language. That is also fine. Who are, let's say, new to QA technology or QA world, that is also fine. Make sure you will be able to understand. First thing is you are very this thing about manual testing. You have very, you can say you are understanding all the concepts and whatever topics I am trying to cover for manual testing. That is important, guys. Okay, then only you will have few ideas like you can say understanding on the Java and how that is related with your Selenium. Okay, so it is okay those who are not having any background on anything. Okay, because as I mentioned, we are kind of starting from scratch. Okay, is database testing also included in the course? Okay, one of the question. Yes, the database testing, we will talk about basic SQL queries. It will be one or two sessions, guys. Okay, wherein how we are using like the basic SQL queries into our database part, how we are triggering it, and how we are validating the result. Okay, so database testing is yes, it is obviously available. Okay, so with respect to course is of 30 days, so what will be the end day? Okay, so end day I would say from next week Monday to, you can consider 1.5 month, guys. Okay, 4 weeks plus 2 weeks, total 6 weeks I'm considering. Okay, and next question is whether it will be covering API automation. Yes, answer is yes. API automation will be covered, but mobile automation using APM is not covered under this course. It is only for UI, web UI, guys. Okay, it is not for APM. How many class in a week we will have in this thing? So total five this thing, right? Monday to Friday, every day at same time, that is 8 a.m. IST to 9 a.m. IST. Those who might miss some of the session, please review or go through the recorded session, and you can come up with your doubts, queries, question at later point, guys. Okay. Due to some reason you are not able to, let's say, I mean, just not attend the session, guys, you can kind of come up with the you can say doubts and queries. With respect to practice and assessment and assignment, guys, we will start once we kind of start with the programming practices, and that will happen after around 4 to 5 sessions once the manual testing is completed. Okay, after that we will have the daily practice, let's say assignment as well, and practical session as well. So when I say practical session, we will usually use our one of the editor, that is either most of the time it is Eclipse, and we will try to create some programs, and those programs you also need to create. I'll obviously share the title and everything for the program, what all things you need to do. That assessment needs to be completed by the next this thing next class. Okay, the framework setup will be from scratch, guys. It is obviously from scratch. So whatever we will talk, it will be from scratch, because the thing is, whatever topic we have learned, right, we need to utilize those topics, and based on that we will create the framework. If SAP testing is included, the answer is SAP testing, that we because we are not having specific domain this thing, guys. But still, if you are having any queries, question for the SAP part, please feel free to kind of ask your doubts and queries. With respect to QA, if there is anything, I'll try to make my best to answer those queries and questions for SAP, guys. Yeah, even for the Salesforce, if those who are, let's say, working in purely in Salesforce domain, if they have any project specific questions, queries, doubts, please feel free to ask your doubts and questions, guys. Okay. Okay. I think we are good. We can get started. So everyone understood the layout, structure, and everything. Anybody got any more queries, questions, doubt? Like for uh, refining your resume, guys, for obviously like making this right, you will be getting some details what you need to add into your resume, that is for sure. Okay, what all technology skill set you can add. Okay, once you are good with let's say Java part, after that only I'll suggest you to kind of add this detail into your resume. And yes, obviously from the Selenium point of view, whatever mandatory points are required, okay, as a QA automation tester, we will try to make sure that everything is added into your resume with around 3 to 4 years of experience, minimum like usually people stated like 2 to 4, but I would say 3 to 4 would be kind of you can add it into your this thing. You can add few of the projects, that's not a problem. Okay, but the thing is, whatever you are adding, you should be able to explain those details to the one who is let's say understanding your resume or viewing your resume. You can add that, not a problem. Okay. So another timing is there. The answer is usually like this is like IST morning batch, right? That's the reason this is in morning, guys. If there is any other time slot which has been right, we'll let you know over the WhatsApp group, guys. Right now, this is has been communicated for morning, 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. IST. If you face any issues while you are creating the framework from scratch, initially I would be able to help you out in, let's say, the setup process. And later on, once you are done with your sessions and everything, still you are facing any issues, you can share your let's say detailed photo, or let's say error message what you are getting, and if required we'll be connecting one to one, and let's say we'll try to solve whatever issues you are facing into your project, guys. Around 15, I'm considering 15 to 20 the number of sessions that will be purely on Selenium, around 15 to 20. Okay, so let's get started, guys. Today we will be having the demo session for manual testing. So, uh, mm, okay, so one more query is about interview part. Will you be able to answer? Yes, obviously you will be able to answer. You will be able to explain the framework. You will be able to make them understand whatever concept you have learned. Okay, so the answer is yes. Okay, you will be able to answer. And the answer will be more or like less similar to what experienced people answer, guys. Okay, so don't worry on that part. So just to give you heads up, guys, today we will be talking about manual testing, correct? So over here we will be, you can say, referring to few of the sessions. I know it is I'll just go through this because everyone are not aware about this. The reason of that, so we will talk about two sessions, guys, today. Let us see the time, this thing. Okay, if there is any time constraint, we'll continue our session tomorrow as well. Okay, so just to give you a heads up, we are starting with manual testing, guys, today. We'll speak about uh, Selenide, no, right now, no. We are only, let's say, having the sessions only on Selenium with Java, guys. Okay, not with Selenide. Selenide is a kind of PL actually. It's one of the language actually. It's not this thing. Okay, tool. It's a kind of language. And once you are done with this course, guys, you will get a course completion certificate about the course, and the title and the course, it will be mentioned into your certificate, which will be like certificate of completions basically. Okay, so let's get started with the very first. Yes, rest assured will be covered for sure. Yes, rest assured API testing is covered. As I mentioned, API testing using Postman, using Swagger, using Bruno, using any SOAP UI tool or something, that will be kind of again covered. And after that, we will touch base to the REST assured API testing, and Cucumber framework will be covered. Yes. Okay. Cucumber framework will be covered, guys. Okay. So moving on, guys, in today's this thing, we will just touch base the basics about what is manual testing, how we will go about, because we will have few sessions on that is manual testing, guys. So let's get started. What is software? A software is nothing but a computer program which is helping us to kind of perform a particular task, right? We are kind of performing some task, so for that, what you will require some software for the completion, correct? So right now we have various types of software, out of which as a technical thing, we will be purely focusing on the one which is like the application software, guys. Okay. We will not be talking about device driver, operating system, server, utilities, right? we have, let's say, programming software, which is nothing but compiler, debugger, interpreter. And the last one is application software. Okay. So usually we will be purely working on web apps, guys. Okay. So what are web apps? Web apps are nothing but like real-time web applications, mobile apps, as well as desktop applications. Okay. So usually we as a QA will be more focused on the web application as the highest priority. After that, we will have mobile apps. After that, we will talk about the desktop applications. Okay. So usually as a QA, we are doing the testing or let's say quality for this application software, guys. So we usually works on the application software. Now, when you are into QA, we will be having that is software testing, which is a part of software development process. Okay. So there is one cycle called as SDLC, guys, software development life cycle, in which one of the phase is software testing. Okay, so software testing is a process, or you can say it is a approach in which you are trying to identify, detect as much as issue you can. Okay, so the purpose of obviously the purpose of this is you will release the quality product to the end customer, to the end client. Okay, that is what software testing is all about. Now we have something called as quality, and what does quality refers to? So quality is nothing but it's a justifications which is given to the end customer. Okay, and that justification is related to whether whatever customer has the picture of that particular product in his mind, right? Whether we are able to satisfy that particular picture or not. If yes, then it means that whatever we have spoken about, that is whether the product is bug free, yes. Whether it is delivered on time, yes. Is it within budget? Yes. It is meeting the requirement or expectation? Yes. Maintainable. And even more points will be there, guys, whenever quality software is we are talking about quality software. Okay, so this many you can say features we try to make sure we provide to our end customer and client. Okay, so what is software quality? Quality is defined as a all the requirements of the customer in a product. Okay, so sure that the software, whatever we are talking about, it is bug free, guys. Okay, it should be bug free. Okay, it should be delivered on time. It should be within the budget. It should meet all the requirement, whatever he was holding, client was holding, and it should be maintainable. Okay. Now let us discuss very important topic, that is what is the difference between product and project. Okay. So everyone, you might have heard this question saying that I am working in service-based industry. I'm in working in, let's say, product-based industry, right? This type of question, sentences from your colleagues. The reason is there is a difference between product-based and project-based, guys. Okay. So project-based is more of like you can say that that particular application is developed only for some specific customer. Okay, if that application is built only for some specific customer, it means that it comes under service based industry, guys. Okay, if an application is meant to be made for all the people, right, then that comes under product based organization. Okay, can anybody give some real time example of product based? What can be the organization who are purely working on product base? Some of the names. Okay, Microsoft, Atlassian, AppTeam, M365. So let us take some real-time example. Everybody are using this thing, stock market application, guys. So what are the stock market applications you guys are using? Upstock is there, Grow app is there, 5 Paisa is there, Zerodha is there, Okay, then we have angel broking is there, right? All these are guys product based company. All these are product based company. The reason they are product based company because they are only having single product, guys. Okay, whatever feature implementations, whatever enhancement they are doing on the current project or current product only. They don't have multiple products, guys. Okay, they have single product. Okay, even the applications which we are using right now, correct, which is called Zoom, that is also a product based company, guys. Because if you have noticed Zoom over the past few years, the menu options, the controls, the screen, this thing, right, enhancement has been like upgraded, guys. Even now I think slowly chatbots will get added to this particular you can say Zoom layout, right? So this will keep on happening because what exactly Zoom people are doing, obviously the enhancement to the same product. Okay, over here we have something called as slide control, also something like more feature got added, guys. Okay, that's what I'm trying to explain. So this is the Zoom is kind of product based company. Okay, you might have heard about Dream 11. Dream 11 is purely product based company, guys. Okay, wherein Dream 11 is there every like MPL, whatever you have heard about this thing. Okay, cricket related. So all those organizations are product based organization. They are having only one product and they are continuously working on the same product. That's it. Okay. And TCS, Wipro, L&T, Capgemini, Accenture, all these organizations, right? They are having like service base. Okay. So service based means, I mean, they are having holding few services. Okay, they are having some customers, and those development, those testing we are doing only for that particular organization. So that comes under service based, guys. Why do we need testing, guys? The reason for that is whatever product or whatever we are developing, the development is done. We need to ensure that it is a bug free. It meets the system requirement and it is meeting the customers and user end expectation. Okay. And one more thing, guys, testing should always start at the start of the project itself. If you think that we will first develop and then do the testing, then the concern over here is fixing the bug identified after release is more expensive. The reason for this is simple, guys. You are developing, and let's say the developer has mentioned that I have developed everything. Okay. And he took around 2 weeks to do this activity. Now this thing is in our code, like now we are starting with the quality testing, right? And if anything happens, then developer need to kind of rework, try to understand the code again, what has been done, and then he need to resolve the issue. Usually, now we will talk about one methodology, guys, called as agile methodology. Okay. In agile methodology, the development and the QA both happens hand in hand. Okay. If today is the development, tomorrow or day after tomorrow will be the testing of the same stories which has been considered. Okay. Yeah, I see there is one doubt. Yeah, Ratna, go ahead. What is your query, doubt, questions?
Yeah. Am I audible?
Yes.
Yeah. So my doubt is, for you have given example for product based, right? So
Mm-hmm.
product based means if one company is focusing on one element, they will be working on the same element in that application,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Correct.
Means in Zoom, if we take example of Zoom, we only use this for meetings and this kind of stuff. The other
Right.
services they don't
And
provide.
so basically, whoever is working on Zoom, correct?
Mm.
They might be having different modules, guys. Okay, somebody will be, let's say, working on audio technology, somebody will be working on video technology, somebody will be working on some setting related area of Zoom, correct? The modules might be different, but the common intention of all the one who are working on, let's say, this Zoom platform is to enhance this product only, like Zoom only, right? So that's the reason Zoom is coming under product-based organization. Okay.
Okay. Can you give me one real-time example for service?
Even even if you consider WhatsApp, guys, WhatsApp is a application which is getting used by everyone. Perfect. Now recently WhatsApp has introduced the concept of screen sharing, okay, wherein you can share your screen with I think 32 people, or not sure about that. So what is that feature? Basically, that feature is applicable only for WhatsApp, guys. Okay. So whoever is working for AI Meta, or like Meta organization, under Meta, they will have a separate entity for WhatsApp. Separate entity means all together, all the employee will purely work for WhatsApp only, guys. They will not work for other products such as Instagram or Facebook. Correct? So all the employee who has the common goal of improvising WhatsApp, so that particular organization, if they have given the name, so that will come under product-based organization, guys. Okay. All the employee who are commonly working on the improvement of Instagram, correct? Those will be considered as also working on the product-based company only, guys, because they are having only single product. Okay, which is either, let's say, Instagram, which is either, let's say, WhatsApp, right? So this comes under product based company. Okay, even if you consider Dream 11, guys, Dream 11 has an employee strength of, let's say, around 300 people to 400, correct? But what is the mindset of all the employee? All the employee are purely working on how we can improvise the same product. Okay, how we can improvise the user experience, how we can do this same thing in like minimum steps. All those things will be kind of the steps to improvise the same application. Okay, so that comes under product based, you can say. Now coming to service based, service based is something, let's say you are working in Accenture, and in Accenture you are working in a project. Okay, let's say you are working for one of the client called as American Express, and for American Express you are working on few of the modules. Okay, so that something is only for the American Express customer, guys. Okay, so that is something comes under service based, you can say, service based logic. Okay, that's the main difference between product based company and the service based. Is it clear?
Yes, it is clear.
Okay. Okay. Why do we need testing? I hope everyone are clear. This is very, very important, guys. Okay, we will talk about one of the methodology which is called as agile. We will discuss about that in detail. What is agile? And that's what I mentioned. You do the development and testing hand in hand. That's a very, very, you can say, crucial point for agile. If there is a development happening today, correct, then the same story is validated tomorrow itself. It will not be like all the development happen at one go and then you start the let's say testing. That is not the case, guys. Now, okay, we will follow agile. What happens in agile, guys? If there is a development which has been completed today, then the QA creates a, let's say, QA creates the QA story, and he will start creating the test cases, writing the test scenarios, and start writing, or let's say start executing the test case which is specific to that module, so that if the issue arises, then the code which is present in developer mind is also fresh. He will be able to understand the flow, and again the QA and developer will have the conversation, and then the issue resolution time will be comparatively less than in this case. Correct, because if it is found at the later phase, then the cost for resolving is comparatively more in this particular case, guys. Okay, Next is like, what is the difference between error, bugs, and failure? Okay. For us guys as a QA, please remember that everything will be coming under single, you can say, because for us, if we are encountering any error, correct, that will come as a issue only, that will come as a defect only. If you have found defect also, you will raise the defect only. And if you have found some failure into your system, okay, while you are doing any of the transaction, any of the let's say any flow, if at that time if you are facing any issue, that is also considered as a defect for you. But if you understand the difference, okay, how you can kind of categorize those defects, okay, so error means any incorrect human action, guys. Okay. You want to click on submit, but you clicked on cancel button. Okay. So something you have not done the correct step. Okay. So in that scenario, if you are facing issue or error, correct, that will be considered as the error. Any incorrect human action that produces a problem in the system is called as an error. Next is defect and bug, guys. Okay. So we will talk about one real-time website now, guys. What is the actual behavior? What is the expected behavior? Okay. So you already aware that if I am trying to correct, logging into the application, it should log me into the next page. That's what the expected behavior is. Correct. Now, if that logic is not working or if it is navigating to something else, right? For that, what you can do, you can raise the defect at the same time. Okay. If it is, let's say, navigating directly to you about us page, if it is navigating to you, let's say on the contact us page, right? Once you log in, if it is navigating to some other page, for that, you will raise the defect, guys. Okay. And the last one is failure, guys. Failure is nothing but whenever we are deviating from the result, right? If you are expecting X and you got Y, right? That will come under this thing, failure, guys. Okay. So that will come under failure. So failure basically means like if you are expecting X and you got Y, that will come under failure. For us, please remember, guys, even if it is error, even if it is defect, even if it is failure, for everything we will log a defect, we'll log a entry, guys. Okay, in our manual testing. Okay. Why the software has bugs normally? The reason is either there is lack of communications. Okay, like I am explaining you something, you have explained, like you have understood something else, and you have started the development. Correct. Next is software complexity. So obviously, some of the developers are very new to this thing. Okay. Let's say they are not having enough exposure or enough experience. So they are not able to understand the complexity of the software, guys. Okay. So everything is available. Let's say the flow chart, the like diagrams, the flow diagrams, data flow diagrams, everything is available, but still like we are having some of the flows they are not aware. So that comes under, guys, software complexity. Okay. They are not able to understand the whole flow. Correct. So in that scenario, what happens is they will develop it, but obviously once the QA starts testing it, some of the issues will remain open. So that becomes the second reason. Third is, guys, programming error. Programming error means like you have written a logic and that logic is working fine when you are validating it, but there are some more scenarios in which your logic is not working fine. Correct. So you have written a logic for validating one of the field saying that age is, let's say, age is greater than 18. Okay, you have written a logic, age is greater than 18 or 19 in the text field. So now you, like, developer has already shared that you need to enter the value greater than 18 into like age field. But the thing is, they have not given the upper limit. They missed the upper limit, guys. Okay. there should be upper limit ideally, right? Because every field has got some like higher limit, like 150 years or something like that, right? So they forgot to mention the upper limit, due to which what happened is, like in the field age, user is able to enter even this value, okay, which should not be the case, guys. Okay, that's what we need to understand the programming errors. If there are some programming errors which we have to understand, is try to see the upper limit, lower limit. This comes under the topic called as boundary value. Okay, so boundary value testing. Okay, so in which if I entered this value, it should not accept it, guys. Okay, if I'm saying 18, so max to max they can accept the value till 110 or 120, they can decide it. And this is the age which we can enter, or which can be entered by the user, guys. Okay, so even whenever we are working on, let's say, banking application, correct? Over there, if I'm transferring fund, guys, okay, you guys are already aware. Whenever we do, let's say, IMPS, correct? You see that we are having some upper limit. You will not be able to. Here, one field will be there. Enter amount. Okay, and in enter amount you will not be able to enter let's say 1 lakh rupees, guys, because what happens, the limit for IMPS might be set by the banking, whichever banking application you are using. Okay, and even like once you add any of the beneficiary for the first time, guys, you see that you will not be able to transfer fund more than some limit, guys. Okay, so that limit value, if it is greater than let's say your limit is 20,000 and you are trying to transfer 45,000, correct? So in that scenario, this logic is failed. So you need to raise issue, guys. So what happens? Programming errors. Programming error means the developer has forgot to add the upper limit whenever new beneficiary got added. So all this type of issues comes under, guys, programming error. Some of the flows are missing, logic is missing. Okay, so that who will discover, guys, as a QA, our job is to understand the flow, try to get whatever flow we can think of, guys, as a QA, and accordingly you need to raise the issue, guys. Okay, next is changing requirement. Okay, uh so there are few models, guys, like waterfall model, spiral model, V model. Okay, the disadvantage of all this model is they were not able to handle the scenario of changing requirement, actually. Okay, so as I mentioned, right, what current we are implementing agile, guys. Okay, everything, almost like 90% of the project right now in every organization is following agile principle and manifestos, guys. Okay, so I'll talk about what is agile principles and manifestos. Okay, uh, it's very important for you to understand what are those. Okay, before that, let me explain why people has moved to agile principle and manifesto. The reason for that is, guys, because it is allowing you to change the requirement, allowing change requirement. Okay, so it is not like, hey, why you are changing requirement at this point of time? We have already signed SOW, everything is done. So changing requirement is not allowed. That was old model, guys. That was in the case of waterfall. Okay, now whenever you want to update your requirement, you can update, you can change your requirement. You have change your mind in case of UI UX. You can update the design, you can update the developer about the same. Okay, that's what the basic principle of agile. So changing requirement is allowed, guys, at any point of time. Okay, so that whatever is currently going in market, they will be able to cope up with that. If someone is using very good design or UI UX, so obviously you will also update your design, correct? So what is that logic? You are kind of updating the, you are updating your requirement, guys. Okay, so that's usually happens, allowing like change in requirement we are allowing, guys. Okay, So due to this, guys, there might be some of the issues which are getting occurred. So that is something bugs. Okay. And the last one is, guys, lack of skilled tester. Okay. So skill QAs are missing. We don't have skilled tester. Okay. Either in terms of experience, either in terms of finding defect, finding issues, they are facing some difficulties, or they are not able to, let's say, run the sanity smoke regression, those type of test cases or testing, and due to which we are not having the, I mean, those due to which we are having bugs into the application, guys. Okay. That's one more reason why we have the bugs into our application, guys. Okay. So just to do a quick recap today, what we have spoken, we spoken about what is software, we have done like what is software testing, what are the parameters which we consider like in terms of quality. Okay, after that we spoke about what is the difference between product as well as project. Okay, why do we need the testing? Okay, what are the basic reason for which we will do the testing? What is the difference between bugs, error, failure? And at the end we spoke about why a particular software has bugs normally. Okay, so we have covered all these points. Tomorrow as well, we will continue our discussion on manual testing only, guys. Okay. I know like some of you are already aware about all this concept, but those who are, let's say, very new to QA world, for them, this is mandatory, guys. That's the reason. We will have around 4 to 5 sessions on manual testing. Okay, guys. So I'll take a pause here. I'll open for questions, queries, doubts. Although I have resolved, I mean, I have answered all your query, but still those who are having any doubts, queries, question, please feel free to ask your doubts. Okay, I'll share the links with you guys. Okay, you can just let me know if you are facing any issues. I'll share this content with you over the chat window. And if anybody is having any issues with respect to any of the topics, whatever I have covered, please feel free to unmute and speak up, guys. Yes, anyone has any doubts, queries, questions with respect to any of the topics? Uh, am I audible, guys?
Yes, you are audible.
Yes, you are.
Yes, yes,
Yes.
you are.
So I was saying, I was updating saying that if anybody got any doubts, queries, question, please feel free to ask your doubts. We'll continue our discussion on manual testing only tomorrow as well, guys. Okay.
There's a question in the chat if you want to answer that.
You have shared the question on chat.
Yeah, there is a question in the chat. Oh,
Can you please, I think I missed that. Can you repeat that question, please?
Basically, Michelle is asking about is the DevOps is inclusive in the QA?
Yeah, I would suggest to, okay. In DevOps, is QA also inclusive? Okay. So when I talk about DevOps, guys, please understand, whenever there will be
we can hear you. You're not audible. I'm not sure if you're.
is it audible now?
Yes.
Yeah, so is DevOps is also inclusive in QA. As far as DevOps is concerned, please understand that uh, the CI/CD integrations, whatever we have, right? And other than that, whatever setup is required, correct? Only in that part we will require the help of DevOps, who will be responsible for migrating the code from lower environment to a kind of new environment. Okay. But if you have the knowledge on DevOps, well and good, correct? You will be having, you can say, good exposure over like Azure pipeline and various other, you can say, features which are available over the Azure's actually. Okay. But it is not mandatory to have the DevOps skill set as a QA. Please remember that. Okay. Because for DevOps, please remember that whoever is kind of working as a pure DevOps engineer, he will be responsible for migrating the code from one environment to other environment. Please remember that. Yeah. Any more queries, questions, guys? Anyone?
Do you have topics? Topics are what day how many days will you be teaching each topic? Like a brochure sort of
I
that you can
shared
share.
a link with you. I think over the chat window, correct? So I'll just share my screen again. Okay. Everyone can see this screen, right? So these are the topics or these are the modules which we have considered, right? And I won't say the specific like how many like hours it will require or something. We will go sequentially one by one, and obviously if we are stuck at any point with respect to doubts or queries or questions, we might require more time in this module, and in this module we might require little bit of more time. The reason this topic contains lot of topics that needs to be covered. But yes, we'll go by like module wise module. Like I have shared this link over the chat window. You can just go through this. Okay. It is not like I'll complete this in one day. I'll complete this in one day. It's not like that. Okay. So usually we will consider around, you can consider the whole things get completed within like 30 hours of this thing duration. Any question?
Okay. I mean, can we know how your teaching experience before this? I'm not sure if it was covered earlier, but
Yeah. So just to give you heads up, guys, overall, I have around 13 years of experience as a QA. And about my teaching experience, I do have almost like 8+ years into QA as well as like manual QA automation. Uh, Currently, I do have exposure on Selenium, Cypress, Playwright. These are the core tool right now, which I mean, as a QA, I'm using it. Other than that, other domains, I have the expertise in performance testing as well as security testing. Performance testing tool wise, we usually have this thing with Jmeter, Gatling, and K6. And with respect to security testing, it is Suite, Zap. Okay, both are like out of which Zap is open source, guys, and Suite is like having some commercials. Okay, so that's the overall experience and exposure I'm holding right now. Okay, there is one more questions. Any notes or study material will be uploaded? The answer is yes. Uh, so you will get the content over the drive. The drive link will be shared. Okay, you can refer them anytime. at any point. Okay. So those who are, good to go, they can kind of coordinate with Kumar sir, guys. Okay. The number and detail will be shared you over the WhatsApp group. Okay. Would request everyone to check the WhatsApp group once the session is ended, guys. Yeah, Ravi, go ahead, please.
Hi, Vikas. Am I audible?
Yeah, go ahead, please.
Yeah, how many days I can access these recorded videos? Do we have any time limit for this?
No, it will be for lifetime. Once you got the access, right, it will be for lifetime. There will be no such time limit. Okay. Uh, Usually, currently, most of my this thing, it is like lifetime, guys. There is no such limit.
Okay. So we can refer them at any given point of time, right?
Yes, you can refer them at any given point of time, and you can refer them like whenever you are practicing or something, you can refer at any point.
Okay. So how about the assignments? Do we have any separate simulator kind of thing where I can go and do the homework stuff, or will it be part of your training?
So basically, I usually request everyone to create their GitHub account, and whatever assignment I'll be trying to provide, right? I'll request everyone to kind of upload their assignment over that GitHub URL. Okay. Whether it is coding activity, whether it is framework related topics. So for all topics, all the thing are uploading their assignment and they are providing the updated URL. That's what I usually do.
Okay.
Yeah.
So GitHub account means, so will you provide any Git link to create the account with our own credentials, or is it going to be a general?
I is it my screen visible, guys? No, right?
Yes, yes.
It is visible, right? So what is this is the official page of github.com. This is the official page of github.com, correct?
Yes.
Now, what you need to understand is you just need to have one like your personal Gmail address, that's it, and create a GitHub account, that's it. Nothing else. Make sure that it is open. It is open as in it is public, that's it. Nothing else. So we will talk about this in our upcoming sessions. You just need to click on sign up and please use your personal email address, personal Gmail address, and you are good to go.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. So I'll talk about this. Don't worry about the assessment, all those things. Okay. Whatever is required from the automation point of view.
Okay. Thanks, Vikas.
Okay. So any more queries, any questions, anyone?
Can you tell us how many batches have we taught like Selenium earlier?
Selenium, it's been almost like around 4 years I am teaching, so I don't have the count. Usually like more than I would say 80 to 90 batches so far. In a year, I try to have like around 12 to 15 batches, something like that.
Okay. Do you teach other automation tools as well, like Cypress or?
Right now, yes, I do. That is correct. But right now, this thing is last 2 months. I'm into this thing only, Selenium right now. Cypress, I'm not right now. This thing. But yes,
Are you plan?
yes.
Are you planning to teach it in the future or?
Yes,
Can...
obviously that will be there. because Selenium is the base thing which everyone should be aware. Okay, first of all, from the automation point of view, what is QA automation all about? And once everyone are comfortable with Selenium with respect to all the concepts, right? What are locators and everything, right? After that, you can kind of jump to some advanced tools, guys. Okay, that's the reason. You should be well versed with Selenium first, and then later on you can change your tool. That depends on the technology, what is being used into your organization.
Okay. Are you into Tosca as well? Tosca.
Not right now. Tosca.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay,
so I'll
thank you.
stop the recording, guys.